r/unpopular opinions. TikTok is a 10 out of 10 app. Before downloading this app, I used to think it was cringe from the ads in the community, but when and I actually downloaded it, a different story arose. If you actually find your preferences and interests and just select not interested under cringe posts you who come on that, and it can actually be a fun app. Yeah, I agree. I think gender identity is the ultimate first world problem. If you are really concerned about your gender identity, then you must not have a lot else to worry about. I mean, I understand mental illnesses and stuff, but I don't see much of an excuse for a functioning adult to be confused about their gender unless they literally have nothing better to think about. Pizza is overrated and quite frankly sucks, and it's weird that people hold it to such a high regard. Pizza is just a shitty food. Full stop. A shitty bread with basement cheese in it and shit meat for $20. No thanks. When is the last time you ate pizza you didn't feel like shit after? Or not to mention you, or even a tad sensitive to acidic foods, it destroys you. Ooh. But you have these insta whores out there who wear pizza apparel, not to mention pizza is symbolically for Cheetos. I'm convinced everyone pretends to like it. Yes, I agree it's disgusting. 90% of police brutality is because the suspect does not follow instructions, and half the criminals would just put their hands over their heads or behind their back or whatever. These altercations wouldn't need to result in violence. Eric Garner, Michael Brown, etc. could have just stopped in their tracks and listened to law enforcement. Edit. I'm referring to police and U.S. Edit too. I made this statistic up in my head. I have no source. Millennials have no room to bash boomers as a generation. They are a lot worse. Editing because of what folks have saying. I will say that it could say older generations get too much flack. Look, I just think millennials are not the best generation. Not to say they're all bad, obviously, but they have serious issues to work out as a generation. For one, they swung way too far left, their most serious offense, and just seem so entitled to everything, participation trophies and things like that. They, then there's trigger or slash content warnings, hate speech rules, and other things that implies is that they never want to have to confront anything bad. And there's how they treat boomers. Nothing is ever the millennials' fault. It's always the boomers' fault. It's always the boomers' fault. It's what the boomers did when and they were in charge. Millennials get criticized. Boomers are just having a kids these days moment. Have never seen a generation so willing to disregard the previous one and has a scapegoat and a joke. Ironically, he's something they accuse boomers of doing a lot. Don't believe me? How many other generations have built a meme celebrating completely invalidating another name of comedy? The OK Boomer meme, if you didn't know. Yes, I agree. Like, seriously, the millennials have gotten off. They complain about their gender identity and not having trigger warnings and shit like that. Seriously. People shouldn't be shamed for not wearing masks in public. I get the reason why people are wearing masks. I also get why some stores are mandating masks to enter their private property. However, wearing a mask is not the law in many places. I actually live in a state where it is not legally required to wear a mask in public. As such, I was waiting for a carry-out yesterday, and someone walked into the restaurant who wasn't wearing a mask. The guy in front of me made a point to call out the person. When I jumped it and told him to STFU and mind his own business, as he argued that the customer was endangering him if someone and is so scared that they can't stand in line to get food with someone who's not wearing a mask, then probably should pay for the delivery as an individual. I know what risk I'm taking every time I leave the house, and I know everyone will not be wearing a mask. In fact, by publicly embarrassing yourself, you risk that I'm responding by getting in your face and confronting you with that on a mask, further exposing yourself. If you see someone not wearing a mask in public, mind your own business and go about your day. Edit. This post isn't a debate about whether you think wearing a mask is necessary. It's about minding your own business. If it is legal or requirement in your state, then the appropriate authorities will take care of the issue. Armpit hair on women is extremely sexy. No, the fuck it is not. I find it very beautiful when a woman chooses to grow her armpit hair in an extreme, and it's a shame how most women think such a beautiful part of them is ugly if it's not clean shaven. What the fuck did I just read? That's getting a downvote. Dogs are disgusting. They shit and piss everywhere, or unless you give them extensive training. They stink like shit and eat their own shit or vomit, and then try to lick you with their nasty tongue. They are cancers to the world around them and often kill animals at random while her waste pollutes the environment. People also keep oversized and dangerous dogs that bite and kill people like GSD. These are pit bulls and all those kinds of dogs should be allowed to go extinct. Breed like pugs, bull terriers, and bulldogs are disgusting inbred creatures that can hardly breathe or function and should never have been created by selfish humans. Lastly, I'm tired of you lazy ass dog owners even letting them shit everywhere for people to step in. I don't care if you have to carry dog poop for 10 miles. Pick that shit up. Jesus Christ, it's just dog poop. Damn. What is this? Okay. Damn. That's an easy downvote. The word Jew is offensive and shouldn't be normalized. First off, I'm going to say I'm all noble, so forgive my spacing. I'm Jewish, and basically every single mention of Jewish people on Reddit and other forms of social media, they are often referred to as Jews. That's not a word. It rubs Jewish people the wrong way. And think about this. Would you call a Jewish person a Jew to his face? I guess probably not. I'm trying to be a snowflake or I'm not trying to be a snowflake or hypersensitive, but anti-Semitism is like the first form of racism to exist. Judaism and nationality and religion. Google it before you go off it. And it's still very much alive and will everywhere in the world, and perpetuated by socially unacceptable terms like Jew. If you don't believe me, go on any Reddit post that has something to do with Jewish people or Israel, and it's literally up there in the title. It'll be the first comment. Okay, that edit is useless. And then somebody comments, what do you want them to be called then? And then this other person says, ready baked. Haha, Holocaust jokes, that's pretty funny. Month, day, year, or year is better than a date, month, year. What I think that title is trying to say is month, day, year is the best form of writing date, so let's go. Oh, I'm European, but I love American date format. I find it more plausible to an high and more logical. I think that because day is the least important, it's rational to put in the middle where it's less noticeable than the month or year. 1/30/2020 looks better to me than 30/01/2020 or 30.01/2020. Yes, I agree. Fuck pets. Think about people. A lot of people seem to think higher of animals than people. I've seen people cry about the meaningless dog in movies, but they don't give a shit when a lovable character is dying. What the F is this? Help. Yes, I kind of agree. Women showing cleavage in the workplace is unprofessional and disrespectful. Showing your tits unless you work at hot Hooters or a stripper or hooker is entirely disrespectful and unprofessional. It would be the male equivalent of a guy showing his bulge wearing super tight pants and spandex underwear. Thank God that's not a thing. Seriously, no one wants to be distracted by your tits while at work. Something about having low-cut cleavage just comes off as desperate and trashy to me. And then most of these same women have the audacity to get angry at some perv staring at her tits. Imagine the audacity and privilege to hold that kind of mindset, laughing my ass off. Yes, I believe that traditional gender roles are the correct way for people to live. You are here, aren't you? That means a man impregnated a woman and you were born. Unless you're a weird test tube baby. This simple formula has taken humanity from being apes to the present. Survival of the fittest doesn't mean the strongest. It means that the best equipped for surviving would breed and create an ever-growing population that came from whatever. I believe that nature forced the genders to self-assign tasks that they were proficient in at doing because as it took luck and skill to breed and continue year long. And today people don't die if they are lazy. They continue to exist, and this artificially changes what it takes to be success. As for from a historical point of view, in my opinion, if we were to return to male-only workforces with women being limited the motherly duties and child rearing, that society would be happier, cleaner, safer, and advancing faster than our current rate. I think the natural and historical evidence speaks for itself, and that the only reason women have recklessly abandoned traditional roles is because of artificial birth control. To summarize, without the artificial handicap to the natural reproductive cycle, we would be better off as a species. Yes, I agree 100%. Government shouldn't force guys to take care of accidental kids in some cases. I'm a male who live in constant fear after hearing stories from my uncles and friends that if my girlfriend gets pregnant and decided to keep the kid, I automatically will be affected. Don't get me wrong, I love kids. Practically, I parented my niece and nephew, but I don't want to be a parent until my mid-30s. When my girlfriend's decision of becoming a mother automatically he makes me a father, I don't get it. Please share your views regarding this controversial topic, and please don't be mad at me, as this is my genuine concern. Thanks in advance for your comment. Yes. Well, I don't have nothing else to say. I agree with that. Gay pride is bullshit. First off, no hates towards gay people or anyone else. Being gay is natural, just like being straight. Why aren't there prides for straight people? I know there are some, but they will always be called bigotry. The main argument for pride parades is, but gay people are still oppressed in some places. And so, or some ethnicities and races, but why aren't black pride parades Jewish and Ukrainian prides? Yes, exactly. They're bullshit. The United States is the least racist nation on earth. Judging by Reddit or the media, you would think that we are backdated to pre-1960s or 1860s or even 1960s race relations, but when you take into account our population size and vast diversity, this is the least racist nation on earth. Yeah, that's unpopular, and I agree with it. The Star Wars prequels suck. I hate them so much. They are extremely poorly written, have terrible dialogue and acting, horrendous CGI, emotionless action scenes, and they are boring as hell. I always see people try and combat this by saying, "Oh, but the lore was expanded." I don't give a fuck. Expanding the lore doesn't make a good effing movie. The only people I can see enjoying this are dumb kids who won't only like flashy lightsaber fights and flips, or people who grow up with these movies and have nostalgia goggles strapped on. Straight people should talk about their straightness more. I feel a strong bond with straight men, and when they openly talk about their experiences with women, it makes me feel like they see me as an equal. I know for a fact that he talk about it with each other, and I don't want to feel excluded. I don't have to use someone's pronouns if I don't feel like it. There's not much to it, really. Basically, they have to have the freedom to do whatever they want, but so do I. I can't and say and do whatever I want, same as them. The freedom of speech makes it so you can control what you say, not what I say. There is no law forcing me to participate in it. Even if there was, I still wouldn't. Being a gamer is not an identity. I see so many people who proudly stating, "I'm a gamer." That's not an identity. It's not like being a musician or an athlete or an artist. You're not actually doing anything. You're sitting in front of a screen pushing buttons at the right time, but it's all fake. Nothing is actually happening. And you didn't build a castle in Minecraft. It's digital. It doesn't exist. You didn't go on a raid. You sat on your lazy ass pushing buttons, and nothing is actually happening. The friendships are real, but the activity isn't. Getting cheated on repeatedly is a red flag. I'm not saying you're a bad person, and it is suspicious of you getting cheated on multiple signs. Red flags are just that, a warning sign. Might be fake or a dead, but that can't be ignored. Cheating is, of course, the fault of the cheater, but, sometimes a personal history can say a lot, just requires more investigation. First off, the only limitation for Instagram meme pages are the community guidelines. They can post memes of any type of quality. They can also post more edgy and offensive memes, unlike Reddit. People who make memes can post videos. Lastly, some pages steal from Reddit, so you wouldn't need to use that for your meme.